Hey guys, Creator Mom. I'm taking a walk in the morning and I'm feeling chatty. I never take morning walks. Come on, girl. Ah, I hate when the thorns grab at my coat. Anybody else? It's so annoying. I'm like, no, don't rip my coat. And yet I still walk through the, what do you call this, meadow quite frivolously, even though I know that these thorns are yanking at my coat. Because I'm crazy. I wanted to say, I kind of hate Bigby coffee. I don't know if you guys have Bigby coffee where you're at, but I feel like they have Dunkin' Donuts quality coffee and they fucking want to charge Starbucks prices for it. Starbucks coffee is way better. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the actual coffee or the way they make it, but I swear to God, Bigby's wants to charge the same prices as Starbucks and their coffee tastes like shit. Like Dunkin' Donuts coffee tastes like shit too. And if I'm desperate for like having coffee but I don't want to pay a lot, like I'll stop at a Dunkin' Donuts and like suffer through it a little bit. And I'm like, oh, it's like mediocre. But I think that's really dumb. Like, I hate Bigby's coffee. They really need to like drop their price to like $3 for a latte. Like, fuck out of here with like $6. It's like, tastes like shit. Do you even taste your own coffee? I don't know. And Starbucks is not even like that fantastic either, but I mean, I guess it depends too on who makes your coffee at Starbucks, because I definitely have had a time where I was like, why did I just pay this much money and this coffee sucks? But I think it was the girl who made it, honestly. So anyways, last night I watched this movie called Krampus that was made in 2015, and I realized like there's a lot of movies called Krampus but they have really low ratings. And I was like, you know, I get really fascinated with like folklore, you know, and where stories came from. And I feel like Santa Claus and elves, well, yeah, they say that comes from like Saint Nicholas or whatever, but I think that the story has darker origins. I feel like all these stories have dark origins. It's not like, it ain't definitely how we have it in our culture, you know, like big jolly Santa Claus statues and happy reindeers and elves. I think the origins of these stories are very dark, like Brothers Grimm type shit. I love Brothers Grimm. So some of their stories, at least, I don't know, some are too long and I'm like, damn, this shit's too long. Come on. I know my dog's looking for cat poop to lick on. But yeah, the movie was really good. It was really well made. And it brought forward an interesting idea, like, because I've been like wondering a lot about Christmas and what I want it to mean to me and stuff like that. And in Krampus, what happens is the young boy gets upset at his family because, you know, his family sucks. They're mean. And he kind of loses hope. Like, he wants things to be good. He wants like a good family. Like, he wants cousins who treat him nice, but they treat him like shit. So he loses hope, and because I think he's been asking Santa Claus for these things, so he loses hope in Santa Claus. He loses hope in like the magic of Christmas and miracles and shit. And so he takes his list and he rips it up and he throws it out the window. And as he throws his list out the window, it goes upward. It spirals upward, you know, like as if it's going to like the North Pole or something. So then, because he did that and he was kind of like had an attitude of despair, that attracted the darkness of Krampus. to and his crew. So what happened was like all this darkness blew over, and like a really dark, awful blizzard, destruction came through, and yeah, basically what happens is the family has to fight Krampus and all his, like, he has elves too that are really ugly. They're more like, they look like trolls. I was talking with one of my kids about the origins of these small creatures, like trolls, dwarves. What they're called too many things. Elves. What else? I don't know. There's another name out there. And some of them are associated with being cheerful and positive, and some of them are associated with being like evil and bad, you know, and naughty. So Krampus, instead of having like cute little elves that are cheery and want to do good, has these trolls that are ugly as fuck, and they want to, you know, destroy and stuff like that. And he also rolls with these gingerbread cookie these evil gingerbread cookies, you know, that like want to tease and mess things up and hurt people. So yeah, so first the and evil toys that come to life and like attack you. So this family's like fighting all these things, and well, the interesting thing is the grandmother of the family, she is German, I believe. I thought she was Danish at first, but because they were speaking another language, I guess it was German in the movie. Actually, I thought maybe they were I thought it was a Norse. I thought, okay, maybe this is a Norse folklore. But then I read online that it comes from German lore. So I guess the grandma was German, and what happened was that she knew what was going on, but she didn't like tell nobody, because when she was a kid in Germany, I guess she experienced Krampus, because it was a time of war and darkness and famine. And so I guess all that dark energy in people's hearts attracted just like Krampus and evil shit. So then they took her family, because she also gave up hope. She thought like, oh, you know, I want a Christmas miracle for my family to be better and happy again, and for the world to be in a better state. Anyway, she gave up hope on that. And so basically they're saying in this movie that when the children, it seems like, lose hope and despair, that invites the Krampus spirit, which in the movie they said is kind of like the dark shadow of St. Nicholas, kind of like displaying like the idea of good and evil, you know, light and darkness. So what else do I want to say about that? So yeah, they fight Krampus, and it's like, then all of a sudden, yeah, it says in the lore that Krampus drops people down into what we would call like hell. What is it called? The underworld. And so the kid and his family got dropped into the underworld. And then in the movie, all of a sudden, the kid wakes up and he's back in his home, and it's Christmas morning, and they're like opening gifts, and everything seems cheery and good. And he's like, wait, what the hell? He's like, was that all? In his mind, he's like, was that all a dream? He's wondering as he's sitting there with his family, and his family's acting like nothing happened, like everything was good. It was like it never happened, you know. So the kid was confused, and then the grandma hands him a gift, opens it, and it's a dark colored bell, or like, yeah, bell, like, you know, like this big, and it's dark colored, and it says Krampus on it. And once he opens that, and then he's staring at it like, oh my god, it was real. And then everybody else in the family gets this bewildered look on their face, like all of a sudden they're remembering, like, holy shit, like they're remembering what had happened. And then the movie zooms out to show that Krampus put them in their home and everything, but in a snowball. One of those snowballs that you shake up, glass snowballs. So they were like stuck in that, in their home. And he had tons of snowballs in this underworld that he was collecting. I don't know really what the meaning of that was. So maybe they'll be stuck on Christmas on repeat. I don't know if that's what the movie was insinuating. So yeah, pretty twisted. But yeah, I think folklore is very interesting. But how awful would it be to grow up in a time where, as a child, you're taught that if you're good, St. Nicholas will come, but if you're bad, and if your family is bad, Krampus will come for you. I read that they toned it down a bit, as where Krampus just comes and puts coal in the stockings. But originally, Krampus came with his chains and bells, and he took you and your family away in his basket or whatever. So that's pretty frightening. I know my kids would be fucking terrified if they heard something like that. It's pretty evil to tell kids shit like that. And I know it's all probably manipulation. But, I mean, that's fucked up, you know? It's just really bad. Because kids believe everything you tell them. I mean, up until a certain age, I guess. And I was talking to my son about this yesterday. Because he was like, I wonder if there's people who really actually believe in Santa Claus, you know? But then I was like, you know, I guess it's good that we have this holiday in a way. It would be good if people weren't so pressured to, like, buy gifts and things like that. Because then that makes people feel stressed. But if it was just the holiday, I guess, and people felt more cheery around this time, like, that's all well and good, you know? Because, I mean, we don't want the opposite, really. You know, we don't want darkness and famine to come upon the land, you know? We want people to be in good spirits. So, maybe manipulation with Krampus, or maybe just Krampus represents, like, what happens when we aren't filled with hope and light. Things just get dark, and maybe just Krampus represents, like, what we create, you know, in our world, since all the matters of life flow from the heart, you know, everything flows from within, not without. Anyways, that was a long talk, but I think that's all I have to say right now in regards to that.